All right, John here. Once again, joined with,
Fabio, aka the Italian Stallion 51.
and we were just chatting, and it's definitely been a while since we've talked. Uh,
Oh yeah,
it's probably been, what was it, a year? Maybe it's probably last year. Now
it's
that,
been it's been a while.
yeah, definitely. And I've been talking with Fabio, like, hey, we need to get up sometime and have a discussion, and you said something about doing a rant, so I'm like, yeah, let's do a rant. So
Rants are always fun.
yeah, and I thought, why not double down on the trend of nostalgia and just go full out on that because it's an ongoing issue and it's not going away anytime soon. And yeah, I mean, I guess to start, off this sort of discussion rant, when the word nostalgia comes up, what do you get from that? Like, and the whole, you just like this movie because, from the past because of nostalgia.
Well, people. It's so weird how people want to push the nostalgia button, and they want to say that other people are oh, you got the goggles on and this and that, and you don't like anything that new that comes out. But yet these are the people that pay to see these movies every, not just movies, but TV shows, whatever the case is, year in and year out. These constant sequels and remakes and reboots and whatever. It's just so weird how they want to point the finger at everybody, but they're the people that are paying to see it. So obviously they're
Yeah,
confused, but it's just Hollywood does it because it's the easy way out. It's a no-brainer for them. They take a brand name, again, like you just reviewed Terminator. People know Terminator, so they're like, "Oh, cool, we'll just keep making those." And obviously, it's not working because not only do the movies suck, but they failed the box office. So there you have it.
exactly. And Dark Fate is a great example of that. And the first 5 minutes should tell you all. That's the, like, just Hollywood just doesn't care. And, they're killing off characters like nothing, making
Yeah.
storylines pointless. And, but why do you think, like in this era of films, in the studios, why do they keep going back to the nostalgia well?
Because again, it's the lowest common denominator. It's the easiest thing for them to do. They don't Hollywood for whatever reason does not want to take risks. They don't want to create new stories and new characters and try to create new worlds. They just want to fall back on stuff that was made 20, 30, now 40 years ago, because the 80s, 1980 was 40 years ago, which is hard to believe. But
Yeah,
they just fall back on that because they know that people will go see that. People will flock to see that.
exactly. Especially now in the forms of, let's revive this, let's reboot this, remake that, and sequels, incessant sequels. And yeah, I mean, I get this is nothing, this is not a new thing, but even more now, it's become this hook, like it's nostalgia bait.
Right. Exactly. Just and I'm sure we'll touch base on this, but the Fast and the Furious 9 trailer just came out, and, you know, I'm sure people are thinking, well, you like all the older, Friday the 13th and the Halloweens and whatever, but, at least those movies, I mean, yeah, they made a bunch of them, but at least they tried. At least they tried to make a decent movie instead of just, oh, we could just put flying cars and we can wrap a car around this and we could do that, you know, because, Friday the 13th or Jason Goes to Hell, they added the character of the sister, and it's like, oh, that's the same thing they're doing. So it's nothing new. It's like they keep doing this, but at least older movies, they tried, and hey, if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. But now it's just like, okay, how do we top what we did last time? How do we get people to come back? But these movies are so out of touch with reality, and I get it. They're movies. It's supposed to be fantasy, but still, like, come on, let's get real here.
Exactly. And do you think that? And I know we're part of that social media and how we react to things like that and how we respond. But do you think social media plays a part in this? Because we see all these things out there of, like, let's say articles, with the headline, "Who remembers this show?" and why this deserves a reboot and a sequel and 10 reasons why this should get revived. And people are easily swayed by that crap.
Yeah, absolutely. People want attention, and that's a great way to do it is social media. And I was actually talking to one of my viewers about this, and yeah, every person in the world has a smartphone, and they at least have one social media account. So you get on there, and you see all this stuff, and I mean, obviously, the algorithm is the cool word now. The algorithms or whatever are tapped into what you like and this that. So of course that stuff's going to pop up, and it's just to get your attention. And then, oh yeah, we should do this and we should do that. So yeah, social media definitely plays a big part in it, and some of it's positive. Let's not dissuade that. Some of it's good, but 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's just to get people talking about something, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'd love to see a remake of that. Well, just because you'd love to see it doesn't mean they should make it.
Exactly. And I know sometimes the argument comes up, or people will ask, well, we talk about sometimes how films deserve sequels, but let's make this clear. We always say back in the day, because we would not want to see that now.
No, of course not.
Like, do I wish we could see more adventures of Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express? Sure, but back in the day,
absolutely.
Not now. I would not want to see that.
No, it's too late. It's way too late.
And even more recently with Lethal Weapon 5, I think we're in agreement that it's not needed, it's unnecessary, and it's way too late.
Absolutely. Danny Glover is, 73, 74 years old? Mel Gibson's in his 60s. It's like, they're literally too old for this shit. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to take some Ovaltine and go fight, some people that are, tweeting about God knows what? I mean, what could you possibly do now in terms of a Lethal Weapon 5,
Harass Joe Pesci's character in the nursing home, or...
Yeah, Joe Pesci's, pushing 80.
Exactly.
Right, come on. Let's get real here.
And I don't get how some people are for it, because this article or headline or thumbnail convinces you that we need a Lethal Weapon 5? And because they don't know how fucking old these guys are. And God bless Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, but it's not needed.
Right. And you're absolutely right. I mean, people, and I don't know whether it's just people have lowered their standards so much or what the case is, but it seems like every time something comes out, people are like, "Oh yeah, we gotta support this and we gotta see that." No, you should not support everything that comes out or want to see everything that comes out. And then they complain. They're like, "Oh well, you're not a real fan if you don't support this." No, the real fans are like, you know what? It had its time. It's done. Let's create our own sequels and our own stories, and let's watch the older ones and be happy. That's all you need. You don't need 1,000 sequels to everything.
Yeah, so who's really stuck in the past? Us or the people that just want to... Again, they're for Lethal Weapon 5. They're for a Willow TV series. They're for... I don't know how you feel about the Mighty Ducks series.
Oh, God. No.
Or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing that they're working on for Disney Plus.
What are they going to do for Mighty Ducks? Are they going to break Goldberg out of jail? Is that what's happening? Or?
Yeah. Hit some different ice.
Yeah, he's hitting some other kind of ice. It's not the good kind.
Yeah. They're going to bring Goldberg back and have Bombay break him out of jail.
Yeah, instead of Bombay in the first one, it'll be Goldberg this time.
Yeah.
He'll be able to get a DUI or whatever.
We'll break him out like Billy the Kid style.
Now we're crossing over movies.
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks 4, Young Guns, or something.
Yeah. Oh man, another steak out with Goldberg,
Oh God,
and now we're crossing over more.
that's all right. The Estevez is out there.
That's
He's
right.
waiting.
But it just seems more often it's the opinions of I can't wait for another Lethal Weapon or another Star Wars movie. You have to go see that or another Terminator movie. That's cool, and Hollywood feeds off of that thinking.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Because again, it's so simple. It's like, oh, all these people are talking on the internet about how they want to see another Terminator movie. We should make one, but it won't be anything, that people have never seen before. We'll just take all the best parts of the other ones and we'll throw it into one movie, and we'll, hit. What the hell is it? We'll hit.
Reset.
Yeah, whatever. we'll do that, and yeah, and then that's it, and that's our movie. And then when it comes out and people hate it and they don't go see it, they don't spend money on it, then they complain. Well, I don't understand why nobody wants to see this movie, because maybe it's 2020 and nobody wants to see this shit anymore.
That's right.
And I think that the Marvel stuff is going to get like that soon. I mean, it has to be.
Exactly. It's definitely wearing thin, and with Dark Fate, what came out didn't do anything, and Tim Miller's like, why didn't people go see my movie? And you said you're right on the money. Nobody cares to see another Terminator movie. Arnold's too old for the role, and I mean, you do a lot of things. I mean, kill off John Connor in the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
But it's kind of like a little bit of an analogy. It's like you have a steak that was once juicy and it's 30 years old, but you slap it in the microwave hoping that it tastes it's going to taste the same.
Yep.
It's not.
No. No.
And we're tired of the ones we're tired of Hollywood going backwards. You say we're stuck in the past and we should remove our nostalgia goggles, but why some people out there are easily swayed by the hype and the pumping up of Star Wars and Terminator. Make up your minds. Don't say we cling to the past, but you don't mind getting suckered by mediocre rehashes of these properties. Just because as long as it looks new, who cares?
Right. Exactly. It makes zero sense to me. People are so conflicted about what they want, and then they just want to argue and they want to point the finger and they don't want to be told that they're wrong. It's not just movies; it's the whole world. The whole world's become like that for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And what really gets me, and I really noticed this when The Force Awakens was coming out. People get so angry, and they're like, if you don't see this, you're not a fan, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that makes zero sense. Why are you acting that way? And that's why things get a bad rap, because people act that way. It was just like with, it's so funny because when Christian Bale was announced as Batman, people were freaking out and losing their minds about it. And then when it came out, it was the greatest thing of all time. And then, people, when the movies ended, people were writing hate letters and threatening Obama because that made sense to do that. And, it's such a weird culture that we live in now. And all this, has to do with it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've said hypocritical stuff. We're all hypocritical.
We've all said it.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you're doing it every day and you're not changing the way that you think, that's the problem.
Do you think some of it too, in regards to classic movies, why is it that people now, because they may have seen Terminator a couple of times as a kid, or Alien or RoboCop as a kid, and it's a sort of this kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out sort of attitude. It's like they're ashamed of liking these movies. I don't know if you get that vibe or.
Yeah, some certain movies, yeah. I mean, it's and I notice it now with some of the newer stuff that comes out. It's like when I remember, yeah, specifically when like Thor: The Dark World. That's the second one. When that came out, people were like all over it, and then now it's like, oh yeah, that's like the worst Marvel movie of all time, and blah. And same thing with Age of Ultron. It was the same way when it came out. People were like so crazy about it, and then they're like, oh yeah, it's the worst one of the series, and I'm like, well, if you don't like it, don't like it. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I didn't like this one. Don't change your mind all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I know we're kind of going in different areas, but I don't know. It just seems like nowadays,
that's fun.
but like in 2020, like in regards to the movies that we appreciate, it's like they don't want to acknowledge great movies of the past, especially when these franchises we care about are being thrown under the bus. And it's because, I mean, again, is it because you're afraid of what others will think if you defend these movies? Like, say, I don't know, RoboCop, whatever movie you want to throw in there. And I mean, hell, it only seems more outrage comes from when you have animated Disney films from the '90s get live action reboots. Like, and on one hand, I'm glad people are calling out Hollywood for this, and I grew up watching those movies. Maybe part of it is they didn't grow up in the '70s and '80s, and so for some it just doesn't matter. But I think as far as nostalgia goes, to me, why I appreciate older movies goes beyond nostalgia. I get into reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, right. I mean, you should just, and I've been saying this for probably the whole time I've been on YouTube. If you like something, you should just like it because you like it, not because of a certain thing. And you shouldn't be worried about what other people think. If you like it, cool. But that doesn't mean everybody has to like it. And it's just like, let people just do their thing. And yeah, I do think that some of it's jealousy. People wish, like, I wish I could have seen like a lot of these older movies in theaters just to hear people's reactions when certain stuff would happen. Because you hear all these stories, like on these Blu-rays and stuff, like, oh yeah, when they came out, people were yelling and screaming and they were cheering, and you don't really have that at movies anymore for whatever reason. And it's just, like, that stuff would be cool to experience, but, I mean, you can't control when you were born. So, I mean, you shouldn't be mad because you didn't get to experience it firsthand. Just enjoy it for what it is and what it means to you. And don't get all bent out of shape because, oh my God, the general public didn't like it. Well, you know what? The general public doesn't have to like it. But if you like it, that's cool. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And, when I was talking about nostalgia, it's why has it become an excuse? Like, it's like Hollywood snare trap.
Yeah. I mean, it's the easy way out, and then they can blame, it's like with Terminator, Tim Miller was like, well, why did nobody go see this movie? And they want to start blaming fans and blaming people. Well, you guys are the reason why. Same when Charlie's Angels came out. Elizabeth Banks was like, oh, well, this is all men's fault because men didn't want to see this. No, nobody wanted to see it. Like, are you kidding me? It was a bad movie based on a 70s TV series that, people barely remember now. Like, you don't really hear people talk about the TV show Charlie's Angels. You hear people talk about the older movies now, and it's like, they try way too hard at something so simple. They overcomplicate it. And these movies, most of them, they deserve to fall flat on their face. But what the other side of that is when it is a remake and it's good, it actually works, and then people crap all over it. And it's like, well, no, they tried and it worked. Why are you getting, upset? Like, I just watched Death Wish with Bruce Willis, and it wasn't a bad movie. It was actually a decent remake, and I know when it came out, like, people shit all over it, and they were like, oh, it was so bad, and I'm like, it really wasn't. And same with the Power Rangers remake. That was actually a really good movie, but, people just couldn't handle that it was different and it was more mature, and it's like, hey, that's what the older fans, the people that grew up with the show, wanted to see. So why not? So then why are you getting mad about it? I don't see. It's such a double-edged sword. People, it's not one or the other. People are so confused.
Yeah, and I get everyone has different tastes and stuff, and it's the thing of everything's been done at this point, so of course they're gonna go back and nothing is original. I get that everything's not gonna be 100% original, but my thing is, and this is something that we often rant about, whether it's me, you, or Rain Bright for Life, OCP Communications, we demand some creative effort.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you just said, everything's been done. It's hard to do something completely original, but at least get creative and try to do something, outside the box. Or, hey, instead of the guy's wife getting murdered, how about she lives and they come after everybody? So just change it up. Like, it doesn't have to be the same thing over and over again, and do the unexpected. I think that's a problem, especially I've noticed in the a lot of the the newer Van Damme movies is he always dies, and people are like, well, why? Why does he gotta die? Like, he's the hero, he's the good guy. So it's like, change it up, let him live, let him ride off into the sunset like he used to do. Like, come on.
Exactly.
It's so annoying. It really is, because again, Hollywood always screws up a cup of coffee. It's impossible to do it, but they still do it.
And everything's not going to be a home run.
No.
But I'd rather for them to try and fail than to not try and keep playing this damn nostalgia card.
Exactly. I mean, look how many movies in the past have come out where, okay, maybe it didn't work or maybe it wasn't a success, but people were like, you know what? Hey, they tried. It was a good movie. It was bad timing, or there was things going on behind the scenes. Now you're not going to have that. It's just, oh yeah, here's another Star Wars movie that nobody cares about, but it still made $1 billion. Cool. That kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know.
And, and that's why we get frustrated, and that's why we're tired of it. We're tired of the nostalgia baiting, and from some folks out there, I'm not blasting everybody, but
right.
Stop giving into it. I mean, I know everyone's going to have different tastes, and that's fine, but more often, and the track record speaks for itself, Hollywood doesn't care about the past. And we've seen this time after time after time, especially in recent years.
Yeah, because if they cared, they wouldn't be doing all these sequels and these remakes and these TV show spinoffs. They'd be like, all right, it had its time. It's done. Let's move on. But sometimes, like with Bad Boys for Life, was actually a really good movie because they did it right. But does that mean they should make 5 or 6 more? No. Like, sometimes 1 is enough. Like with Die Hard. Die Hard 4 was great, but did that mean that they should have made a Die Hard 5? No. They should have just left it alone.
Yeah. And, also other things like, do we really need a Picard series? I love The Next Generation, but this Picard series, I look at it, and it just looks bland. And, we want to look different from Discovery, but it doesn't look that much different from Discovery or the reboot. It just looks like, I don't know. I don't know what are your thoughts on that, but
I mean, Star Trek, at least in my opinion, should have died in 2002 with Nemesis. But that's just me. But yeah, now it's like, oh, well, the movies are done, so we'll go back to where it started with the TV shows. And I haven't seen Discovery. I don't really plan on it, but I've heard it's nothing, new. It's just the same old social justice warrior crap, but now it's with Star Trek, and people are like, well, that's how Star Trek's supposed to be. It's supposed to be all squeaky clean, and I'm like, well, you must have been watching a different Star Trek, because last time I checked, they were fighting the Klingons, and they were blowing up planets and ships, and, I could be wrong, but I think that's how it went.
And it's funny you mentioned Nemesis, because I think this Picard series, it mentions Nemesis and sort of the like I haven't seen Nemesis, but I know kind of what happens. So it does mention the events of that. So,
Right.
but at the same time, it's like, okay, God, I love Patrick Stewart, but do we really need this? And from what I understand, the other characters, the supporting players, are bland. Not. I'm not just saying everybody feels like this, but from what I've seen, like clips and what people have said, that the supporting cast is nothing, and they just bland acting. But I haven't seen it, to be fair. But I'm just saying.
Right. And I don't really have an interest in seeing it again. Patrick Stewart's what?
80?
80? Close to 80? Like, it's like, really? Like, can he just, like, retire and not do anything for a couple years? Like, come on. You know, why do we have to keep having this? Like, why do they keep making it? Let these people relax,
Yeah.
for God's sake. Like, come on.
No, but they want to keep stretching Star Trek, and that's with all franchises now that we care about. It's like they milk them dry to the last drip, but some audiences are okay with that, and I'll never understand it. I'll never get that because they care so much for going back to Terminator. They care so much for that, not to fuck up once with Genesis, but do it again with Dark Fate by killing off John Connor in the first 5 minutes. But as long as if it's a new Terminator film, no. Cut that. I'm tired of that excuse.
Right. And again, people will just support it and they're like, oh, it's better than nothing. And, this is great that they're still making all these movies all these years later. It's like, no. Like, enough. Enough is enough. Like, come on.
Yeah, this nostalgia trend has become such a detriment, and it's just tiresome.
Exactly.
Uh,
And it's not getting any better because, now, again, Fast and Furious 9 and then 10 is supposed to come out. And you know what? I have a feeling that one day they're going to remake it again, and it's going to start all over. It's like, yep, here we go again. We got to just remake it again because they're trying to do it with X-Men. Since Marvel owns X-Men, they're going to reboot X-Men so it could fit into the universe. And it's like, for the love of God.
Which universe? Because I'm lost.
Why? It's too much. No wonder I have migraines. How can you follow all this? Like,
I know exactly. Like what is it? Universe 5, Phase 69.
exactly.
I mean, and it's like Lethal Weapon 5. Going back to that for a second. I think a reason why they've been stalling the sequel is because I know at some point I have a feeling they're going to try to remake it and reboot anyways. Which
they made a TV series, so anything's possible. Oh no! See, there we go. It's getting crazy in here.
Yeah, it's Danny Glover. But yeah, and even that series was short-lived. I mean, the lead guy left the show after the first season or second season?
Well, apparently him and Damon Wayans didn't get along, so Damon Wayans threw a hissy fit and got him removed. And then Damon Wayans had that breakdown on Twitter or whatever it was, and then they brought in Stifler, and it's like, what is going on? Like, what is happening in this show?
And I know that Stifler didn't play Riggs, but at the same time, it's like, really? It's like... And, I don't know, I don't know, what do you think, where is this the future now? I mean, the state of Hollywood and for years to come is just to keep recycling the past? I mean, because I don't see no end point.
I mean, yeah, I think it's what's going to keep happening because, I mean, again, every day they're announcing, new stuff. Look at Disney Plus. They're like, oh, well, we're going to do a Mighty Ducks series and a Home Alone remake and this and that. And, it's like, enough already. And then, yeah, and look, they did The Mandalorian, and everybody went berserk because of Baby Yoda. And it's like,
and now
can we just stop? Like, what is the point?
And now, well, everyone's now going berserk over Baby Nut. I'm like, what? Stop fucking baby and everything. I mean, God.
I heard about that.
And I'm like,
my brother was like, yo, Mr. Peanut died and Wesley Snipes killed him. I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he showed me the commercial. I'm like, this is stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's Baby Groot. Now it's Baby Yoda. Now it's Baby Nut.
What the hell's next?
Hollywood could suck on my nut. How about that?
Yeah, seriously.
But the Mighty Ducks series, what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't know if you talked about it or...
I didn't talk about it, but it's like, again, what is the point? Like, the last Mighty Ducks movie came out, what, 96?
Yeah, 96.
So 24 years ago. None of these kids now know Mighty Ducks. They don't know nothing about it. Like, and then it gives me a freaking headache. Now Bombay's going to come back and coach again. So what the hell was he doing for 24 years? Like, come on. Like, it's getting so ridiculous. And then, what are they going to have the kids come back and cameo? And, what's Charlie going to be? Yeah, like the new coach or something. And then Goldberg's going to be a crack addict in the show and in real life. And the Bash Brothers are going to be in prison. Like, what? It's like, just stop. Like, no. Just leave it alone.
Oh, but Fabio, Emilio Estevez is coming back.
Oh my God! I'll have to get right on it because the Estevez will be there.
Yeah.
What's next? Maximum Overdrive 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. Or I don't know. But what was
Young Guns 3?
Young Guns 3. That's what it is. Billy the Kid lives on.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Loaded Weapon 2, which I would be probably down for. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that I wouldn't mind seeing.
That'd be the exception, yeah. Another Judgment Night.
Ah, yes. But if they do make Loaded Weapon 2, Bruce Willis has to come back as John McClane again.
Yeah. But even like recently, I don't know if you saw this bit of news, but in regards to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids series they're working on, apparently they're going to start filming here like in the spring, and apparently Rick Moranis is coming back, or he's been asked.
Huh. Because I just read something where, I didn't read about that, but they asked him to do Ghostbusters Afterlife, and of course he said no, which I'm so happy about that. I'm very glad about that. Because he said that last time. When they did the 2016 movie, he's like, why would I want to do something that I did 30 years ago again? He goes, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, see, at least Rick Moranis gets it.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, God bless him, he's been he's been retired for what? Since 97? 98?
Yeah, 20-some years he's been retired.
But it says right here, according to The Insider... exclusive, Disney maybe bringing back Rick Moranis out of retirement for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reboot series Shrunk.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, filming start shooting in the spring of 2020 in Toronto or Atlanta. Disney Plus series called Shrunk. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, if he's in it, I'll see it because it would be nice to see him do something again. But that's the only reason why I would watch it.
Yeah.
Is if Rick Moranis is in it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about that, but, I mean, for me, I don't know, it's just Disney Plus, already with the Mighty Ducks and Hash Up the Kids and...
Oh, it's not just that. I mean, they started, November? And they're already removing stuff. It's like, really? You just started. Like...
But what do you say to people that, it's my childhood, and they get suckered in, by that, and that's all it takes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say that, and people, I hate to use the word triggered, but it sets people off, and they're like, "Whoa, I grew up with this," and you know what? I grew up with a lot of these older movies and stuff too, but you know what? That doesn't mean that they should keep doing it over and over and over again, and keep making them over and over again and rehashing it. What's wrong with just enjoying the older ones and watching the older ones? Like, that's not people, and then people want to say, well, that's being nostalgic. No, it's not. It's because if you like it and you enjoy it, you should watch it again. It's just like playing a video game. If you like a certain video game, don't you play it over and over again? Well, yeah. Well, it's the same thing. Like, why do you think that's different? I don't, but I'm so tired of that argument, Oh my God, you ruined my childhood. Like, no, first of all, you're not a kid anymore, so childhood's over. I hate to break it to you, but it's like, just grow up and be an adult. Like, it's just, especially, music is another example. If you like a song, you keep listening to it. So if you like a movie, why wouldn't you watch it over and over again? It's not because it's nostalgic, it's because you like it and you like to watch it. I've never understood that argument when it comes to movies. Every other form of media is okay, but if it's a movie, you're being nostalgic and you're regressing, and yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
Shut up.
It's like all it takes, like with say for example, the Aladdin live reboot, whatever. If all it takes is to hear "It's a Whole New World," to go, oh, that's my childhood, I have to see that movie. I mean, it just. I to each his own, but it's like, really?
Yeah, I totally agree. Same with when Lion King. Couldn't think of it for a second. When the Lion King, the live action came out last year, I saw so many people on social media, don't bring your kids to see this. This isn't for them. It's for the older fans, and we're going to sing every song. I'm like, how about you just sit down, you shut up, and you watch the movie that you paid to see? I didn't pay to hear everybody sing. I paid to see the movie. Like, it's just so annoying.
And I didn't hear about this.
God almighty, it's so annoying. And then I heard that, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was not a very good movie. So there you go.
And what does that make, like 3 this year? Well, no, last year you had the Aladdin, the Lion King, and was it something else?
Aladdin, Lion King, and...
Was it?
There was another one. Dumbo. Yeah, Dumbo. That's right. Yeah. And I knew there was 3. Yeah, I couldn't remember what the other one was.
See, that's how forgettable.
There you go. See, it just shows you how good at movies they are. Like,
and how many people are talking about them like now, lately?
I can hear the crickets chirping.
Yeah, same here. Because Aladdin was so great, or The Lion King, it's not live action, and I think a lot of people have called them like Hollywood out on that, and I'm glad, because it's not. Like,
yeah.
And then Dumbo, and like no one cared, and no one's going to care for Mulan. I saw the trailer at the Super Bowl. I wasn't at the Super Bowl, but I saw the trailer, and I'm like, it just looks ho hum and bland.
And Eddie Murphy's not in it, so
exactly.
You tell me you're going to replace Eddie Murphy as Mushu? I don't think so.
Well, what's your thoughts on these live action Disney reboots?
It's just, again, it's just such a cop out. Disney ran out of ideas many years ago. I mean, that's the truth, whether people want to believe it or not. It is the truth, and this is their way of doing that, remaking everything, because they own pretty much everything. So they're like, all right, well, instead of it being a cartoon, we'll do it live action. That way it's not really a remake. No, it is. Like, it's the same movie. It's the same movie. Yeah. What was it? A couple years ago they had Jungle Book, and I remember when that came out, I'm like, didn't they already do this? Like, back in the 90s?
Yeah.
And it was actually a good movie? Like,
And that was a good movie that I haven't seen
I
in a long time.
love
But
that Jungle Book. I thought I had it on DVD, but apparently I don't. But I love Jungle Book.
yeah, and I mean, what else are they working on? Have they announced or?
Oh God,
Yeah,
God only
Pinocchio.
knows.
Yeah, Pinocchio. Robert Zemeckis is doing Pinocchio.
Again? Oh God, no! Leave that poor puppet alone.
Yeah. I mean, I like Robert Zemeckis, but I mean, can we just stop with this, please?
Yes,
And I swear something else was talked about. But
they already did a live action Pinocchio in the '90s.
yeah, with JTT.
Yes, right, and that was a good movie. Like,
I haven't seen that one in years.
yeah, it's been quite a while since I've seen that as well. But yeah, Martin Landau was the dad. Well, he was Geppetto. Um, and then, yeah, Rob Schneider was in that. I totally forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'll have to find that. Who are they going to get to replace JTT? Come on.
Yeah.
These people, they don't know.
Now you got me thinking about names. Fucking the kid from Stranger Things. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, that's probably what will happen.
Yeah.
Oh, Stranger Things is so cool. We should put one of the kids in that. Okay, sure. Just like Ghostbusters and Godzilla and all this other stuff.
Well, now that we're on that, you mentioned Ghostbusters, and
oh god,
and I know we haven't really. What we saw was a teaser or whatever, what have you. But what'd you take? Like, what do you take from this Ghostbusters Afterlife? What you've seen so far?
Well, I did do a video about it when it first came out, and my opinion is still the same. It's like, and what's a little bit different about this one is they know they screwed up with the last one, and it was just, and people are gonna argue about it, whatever. Well, it's women and this and that. No, at the end of the day, it was just a bad movie. It doesn't matter who was in it, what happened. It's a bad movie. That's the reality of it. And that's what people can't understand. So now, to make up for that, that's why they're doing this one. Oh, and Ivan Reitman's son's directing it, and everyone's coming back for a cameo, and it's gonna, this is the next generation, and it's about the kids, and Stranger Things did a Ghostbusters episode, so we should do that, and we'll get one of the kids, and it's like, again, stop. Harold Ramis, may God rest his beautiful soul, is turning over in his grave because of this stuff. And I've been saying it for years. The only reason why we had the last one and this one is because, unfortunately, he passed away. That's it. Because they're like, well, we can do what we want now. We don't have to wait for Bill Murray to do part 3, which, I mean, that's a whole nother topic in itself. But
exactly, they can't let it rest.
No, it's like, just let it go. It's over. It's just stop.
And who's to say that, like, which we know the original cast, those who are still with us are going to be in this movie as cameos, but how's that going to be different from, let's say, their, like the reboot, their cameos in that? Because wasn't Dan Aykroyd like a cab driver, and Bill Murray was sort of like the environmental type of guy, and he gets blown out the window by a ghost?
Something like that. I haven't seen that in a while, and I saw half of it once, and that was it. That's all I need to know about that movie. But yeah, and then I think Ozzy was in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think so.
Really, like, come on, like, Ozzy, you got so much better stuff that you could be doing instead of a Ghostbusters remake.
But they want to. My thing is, with this Ghostbusters, why kids? I mean, I know I'm not trying to be harsh, but it's like, why not adults, adult actors that can carry the film?
Right. Why not have Oscar, he's an adult by now. Have him, but whatever. I don't know. But it's the thing. It's because I can't talk. Stranger Things is so big, and then that's that it, and then a couple of the kids from Stranger Things were in that, and it's that obsession that Hollywood has with children, which is not really a good thing in my opinion, but again, that's a whole other topic for another discussion. But
yeah, like Paul Rudd, I like Paul Rudd. If you could figure out something to do with this character, but as far as these kids go, I haven't seen Stranger Things yet, to be fair, I know, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I've been through this, when I saw the It remake, I see that same kid, and, you bring him for Ghostbusters, and it's like, I'm just tired of it. I haven't seen the film, and I'm already tired of it. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's like, just let it die. Like, it's over. Like, people just keep, like Ferris Bueller, it's over. Go home. Like, people just can't, understand that. It's like, you don't need it anymore. Just watch the old ones. Just stop.
And it's okay. It's okay to, for films of the past, to show appreciation. It's not a bad thing. I mean, don't...
No, not at all. But, when you keep, bringing up the past and keep rehashing it, and it's like, okay, that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should definitely appreciate and preserve these movies and pass them on to the next generations, but you should make another one and another one and another one, and then people get confused, and it's like, which is which? I mean, look at how screwed up the continuity, of the Halloween franchise is, and now they want to make 2 more. Were you kidding me? Like, people are so confused.
Yeah. Oh, but they want to make everything like a universe now, and expand on the universe of, let's say, Michael Myers or Ghostbusters.
They should have. If you want to do that, fine, but they should have did that 20 years ago. It's too late.
Yeah, and I just thought about something else. It's like everyone now wants to know. How can I put this? Everybody wants a backstory to some character.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. Everybody wants an explanation. No, he's Michael Myers. He's pure evil. You do drugs and have sex and drink alcohol, he kills you. He's the boogeyman. That's how that works. Come on.
Yeah, why? And just not with Michael Myers, but it seems like with other characters, okay, well, we can use Halloween.
Yeah.
This character in the corner here. Well, let's make a movie about him. I want his backstory.
Right. Yeah,
this character in the background character. I don't know who he is. I don't know his name, but damn it, he deserves his own movie.
Right. He's gonna be the spinoff and the sequel, and it's all gonna be about him. And he had one line in the movie. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah. And that's it. Well, no, it's funny that you say that, because Terminator Genesis did that with what the hell was his name? Alex or something? And he's in the background, and you see him, and he's talking, and then he just shows up at the end of the movie, and you find out he's Skynet or whatever it was. And I'm like, this is so stupid. No one understood that until they told everybody. I'm like, oh my god, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. We want to make this character that we saw one time, and that character on the sidewalk there, let's make a movie out of him. Let's give him, we got to expand on his story.
Right. Yeah, the dude in the classroom in the back right that's picking his nose. Oh, he's going to be the killer in the next one, and we're not going to know why.
But people come up why do people have ideas why do people are okay with these ideas like that? Not everybody deserves this. With Picard, nope. I talked about that, but everyone doesn't need a fucking spin-off movie like Morbius.
Yeah,
I don't know why you saw that.
It's so funny when that trailer dropped. I'm like, do these people even know who Morbius is? did you read a comic book? Do you even know, like, whatever? Did you watch the cartoon when he was a vampire, but he couldn't really be a vampire because Fox said no? And people, you remember that? No? Okay, sure, whatever. Like, it's and then now they're gonna tie Morbius into the Spider-Man and Venom, and it's like, oh my god, just stop.
And that's something I don't get. It's like you want to be your own movie, but you at the same time you want to tie with the Spider-Man movie because you have Michael Keaton appear in the trailer,
Right?
like, and then you have Venom,
Right.
those movies. Then you have, like another Suicide Squad movie coming out,
but they're completely recasting everybody.
Yeah. And then you got this Batman movie coming out with, apparently it's going to have all these villains in it. And it's just confusing everybody.
The last time they tried that, it didn't work so well. Just say it.
Yeah.
Because Batman and Robin had too many characters in it, so I don't know.
Yeah, like Colin Farrell is the Penguin. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation tried the same thing, and that wasn't a good movie at all. So
at least that has a good soundtrack. I bet you this new Batman is not going to have that kind of soundtrack.
Right.
It's not going to have an over-the-top Brian Thompson, which I much rather watch.
Yeah, but at least he had a good time filming the movie. Yeah. That's what he told me. So
you're not going to hear classic lines in this Batman like "It would be glorious,"
or Sub-Zero showing up for 10 seconds and then leaving, and Scorpion never showing back up, and
I mean, we won't even get fucking animality in this new Batman movie.
Yeah, damn it, we want animalities. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want a completely different actor to play Johnny Cage and die in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since we're talking about Mortal Kombat now, I guess this new one. What are your thoughts on this one?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm kind of curious because they're like, it's going to be R-rated. Now, granted, it's going to be all CGI, but I don't know. Like, I'm a little curious about this one. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'm kind of... With this one, I'm a little open-minded because, like, apparently they want to go full out on the fatalities and... Like, it seems they're being quiet about this one. Like, they really haven't put out there, like, a lot of images and, like, images of the cast. So they're trying to keep it on the down low, which I like, in a way. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's kind of... So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we'll see. And I like how they're using a lot of... I don't like to say lesser known. That's kind of a bad term, but not big names, which I like.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. Like, it's different. They don't have big names attached to it. So yeah, we'll see what happens when it comes out.
And we still love the '95 movie. I mean, we're not, and I can, that's the best in regards to video game films, and so. Yeah, can't say that about Annihilation, but...
No. Or many of the other video game movies that are out there.
And that's something else, too, that... Oh, my God, I mean, I know that's a whole other topic, but... That's something else they can't get right, and it's one of those keep it simple, stupid, and they can't,
Yep. Yeah, because Warcraft was such a great movie.
Yeah, Hitman... Yeah. Being a big fan of that character in the video games, and it's like you get, what do we have? A babyface Hitman, a Timothy Oliphant, and a plot that is straight out of a direct-to-video Seagal movie.
They should have just got Seagal and shaved his head.
Yeah, I probably would have been too busy laughing, but
yeah, I mean, he's bald anyway, so he just have to take his wig off.
Yeah. And just remove his goatee. Give him a good check to remove the goatee and the glasses.
His fake goatee and his fake ass hair.
Yeah.
At least Stallone looks good with his gray. So
yeah, I saw that.
Embrace it, Seagal. Just live in the now.
Yeah. He's too busy. Busy. He's stuck at Popeye somewhere.
Yeah, he's at Bojangles.
Yeah. He's at Jack in the Box or something.
Yeah, Yak in the Box.
Seagal in the Box.
There we go. Yeah, that should be his next movie.
Yeah.
Seagal in a Box.
But so what are the thoughts? I mean, I don't know whether topics we can mention, but
we could always talk about the Fast and the Furious 9 trailer.
Oh my God, yeah. I forgot about that. No wonder I forgot.
It was that good that you already forgot about it.
Yeah. Thank you, John Cena.
Because remember, you can't see him.
Yeah, I can't see John Cena. My brain was doing a 5-knuckle shuffle or something.
You got it's called the attitude adjustment now. It's got to be PG.
Yeah.
It's not the FU anymore.
Well, I can safely give an FU to this trailer.
You got that right.
Yeah. Yeah, this trailer just. Well, I haven't really caught up on Fast and Furious movies, but.
Oh God.
This trailer just looked bad. Awful. What
I hate to say it,
Go ahead.
but Fast and the Furious should have died with Paul Walker. I know that's fucked up, but it's true. Like, it's so true. Like, it's just it went from something so simple. What are they going to do next? Are they going to go to space next? Is that part 10?
No, that's
Jason went to space in part 10, so they should go to space in part 10.
No, they're saving that for Space Jam 2 or something.
With LeBron James.
They're gonna have the Fast 10's they're gonna fight the Monstars or something.
Yeah, I might go see that one. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't really. The last one that I saw, actually, believe it or not, was Fast 5, and I haven't really seen 6 or 7 or 8. But you have, so I mean, what are your, I guess, thoughts on the franchise so far?
The first 3 I really liked because it was about street racing and the cars, and it was like, okay, this is what those movies are supposed to be. 4, I know most people say 4 is the worst one. But I think it's a little bit better than 7. But it's a confusing story, and the ending is really dumb, where the whole ending is dark and you can't see anything. And yeah. And then 5 was really good because they brought The Rock in, and it was more of a straightforward action movie, which was nice. 6 is a little bit of a down step from 5, but it's still good, in my opinion. And then 7, I think, is the worst one, and it has nothing to do with the death of Paul Walker. It's a lousy movie. I do think it's a lousy movie. You've got cars flying through buildings, and Ronda Rousey. So there you go. That's an X, a red X on the paper. And then Jason Statham's supposed to be like this cold-blooded badass, but then he's not. And then him and Vin Diesel are like flying and fighting each other, and then they have to stop these drones, and yeah, like it got so ridiculous. And then The Rock wasn't really in that one because he was filming actually another movie at the time, so he couldn't do both. But 8 was actually better. But again, Jason Statham was supposed to try and kill them all, and now he's a good guy, and I don't know. And then, yeah, it's just whatever. And then I actually have not seen Hobbs and Shaw, so I can't really comment on that. But from what I heard, it was more of the same. It was kind of okay, But it's like this one, not only is John Cena in it, which I don't really have an issue with John Cena, but it's like now they're really pushing to get all these people in these movies. And then now he's Dominic Toretto's brother. Like, when the hell did he have a brother? Like, what? And these cars are like jumping off cliffs, and it's just so ridiculous. Like, where do you stop? Like, they just get more ridiculous. And I get it, everyone. It's a movie. It's make believe. It's fantasy. But there has to be a point when you have to look at it and say, okay, maybe we should not do it this way. And that's what happened with James Bond, because Die Another Day got really, really cartoony and ridiculous. And then they're like, you know what? Maybe we need to step back and reevaluate what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So Fast and the Furious has come to that point of Die Another Day and Star Trek Nemesis. Star Trek Nemesis was the same situation. It was like they just kept going and going and going, and it got out of control and it got ridiculous. And it's like, okay, now we need to slow down and we need to change this up a bit. That's exactly what happened with those franchises. And Fast and the Furious is right there. You know, it's at that point where it's like, okay, maybe we should stop and try to get back to where we started. And I know it's going to happen. Part 10 is going to come out. It's going to get more ridiculous and crazy. And everyone's going to live happily ever after. And puppies and ice cream and all this other shit. And then a couple years later, oh, guess what? We're remaking it. Yep. And I'm sure Vin Diesel will still be involved with it, because if it's not Fast and the Furious, it doesn't make money for him.
Well, this time, it would probably be like Vin Diesel's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
It'd be like Randy Orton.
Yeah. He's going to have a brother-in-law, and then he's going to have a cousin that's not a cousin, and then he's going to have a clone, and then, yeah, like all this shit's going to happen in Part 10, and then they're going to go to space, and then they're going to do this, and then they're going to do that, and then Bon Jovi's going to be his grandfather or some shit. I don't know, like, you know, it's, I get a headache just thinking about it.
Was it Kurt Russell was in 7? Maybe he's going to be the grandfather of Vin Diesel. I don't know.
Yeah. Right, yeah, then you find out Kurt Russell's really his dad. You're like, oh my god, like, his dad didn't die.
And Vin Diesel's brother-in-law is Randy Orton.
Yeah. And then Hulk Hogan's his uncle twice removed or something. I don't know. Like, you know what? I'm so glad that Keanu Reeves decided to not do these movies.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
That's what I know. Rambrav did a video, and I commented, I'm like, maybe Keanu Reeves, he took a look at this franchise or script, and he's like, I'm good.
That's probably exactly what happened. He read the script and was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this.
I'm gonna have to take a pass.
I'm gonna do.
I can't do Keanu Reeves.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah. We'll do The Matrix 4 and John Wick 4.
Well, you don't need Matrix 4, but...
Well, let's talk about that then.
All right.
Matrix 4. Well, and I would like to... Like, I haven't seen the Matrix trilogy in such a long time. I would say more so the third one. But aside from that, we just don't need Matrix 4.
No, it doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense, because the ending of the third one, he sacrificed himself and he rebooted the world so the world could be at peace. So what are they going to do? Like, what are they going to do? Terminators? Like, oh, that's not what really happened. This is what happened. Like, oh, no. Please don't do this to the Matrix. The Matrix, I don't care what anyone says. It's a great trilogy. All three are great. It took me a while to warm up to 2 and 3. But you know what? It's a perfect trilogy. It was a great beginning, middle, and end. Like Back to the Future, and just leave it alone. Do not ruin it. Leave it be. Stop.
What, did they take a note from Genesis? Terminator Genesis are going to do Back to the Future 2?
Yeah, that's exactly, and then like in Terminator 3, oh, you didn't stop Judgment Day, you just postponed it. So you mean to tell me that Neo's just been hanging out in the Matrix for 20-some years and no one knows where he's at and he's going to come back all of a sudden? It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I saw, and I talked about this, I saw a meme a while ago, and this guy, he said, movies make me not want to be alive anymore. And I don't necessarily agree with that bold of a statement, but I get what he's saying. It's like, you know, and another one I saw, it said something about, it was making a joke about depression. It was like, depression is when you get to see all your favorite movie and TV show and all this just be destroyed over and over again. And I'm like, yep, I totally agree.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better.
Yeah.
Especially, and I look forward to nothing anymore. To be honest, I mean,
Right.
that's why.
Why should I look forward to anything that comes out? Why? I've been disappointed so many times. Why should I want to see something?
And it's good. That goes for, I mean, like this year, 2020. What do we have? I mean, Top Gun Maverick, Bill and Ted 3. I'm back and forth with because I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Right, but Top Gun, I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah, that I might check out, but there's not a lot, and because time after time, I've been slapped in the face, kicked in the nuts when it comes to these franchises and properties that we love, and characters that, whether it be Luke or Han Solo or John Connor recently, Rocky getting cancer, and then, and I'm just tired of these characters being treated like this. But
or the Terminator himself. It's a joke. It's a joke. The Terminator is supposed to be this badass, unstoppable killing machine, and it's become a farce. It's become a joke.
Yeah.
How? How did this happen?
Now you got the Terminator is now a family man hanging around the backyard drinking Coronas.
Yeah.
And
talking about dad jokes.
Yeah.
It's like...
And he's worried about which butterflies are for wallpaper or drapes, whatever the hell.
Yeah. That's... Did they not see the first one when Arnold just killed everybody? Did you not see that movie? Come on.
They just made Terminator into a house dad, pretty much.
Yep. He turned him into Tim Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Tim the Toolman Terminator.
Yeah.
The only thing that's missing is him going,
Yeah, it's like a sitcom. That's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
It's sitcom.
I'm just waiting for Terminator Full House. That'll be the next one.
Yeah. And Genesis, I mean, there are attempts at humor that just sucks, and
right,
him
smiling and they're playing the bad boys. It's like, who wrote this shit? Who okayed this? Oh my god!
But people are okay with that. People are.
Again, did you not see the first movie? He's called the Terminator. He kills people. That's what he does.
What's the line that Kyle Reese says? He has no pity, no remorse.
Can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. And it will not stop until you're dead.
35 years later, he's now Carl Corona. And he's worried about drapes and wallpapers. And
the only thing that's missing is a damn sombrero. Come on.
Yeah. Telling dad jokes in the backyard with Sarah Connor.
Yep.
And but that's 2019, 2020 for you. These directors wonder why, and why didn't people go see my movies? And they point the finger at fans, and they point the finger at certain demographics, and oh, you didn't like this movie because you're a racist or sexist or.
Yep.
But it's our fault.
Just like with Death Wish. Death Wish was the same way. When the trailer came out, they're like, "Oh, this movie's racist," and blah blah blah. And then Rambo. Oh, the new Rambo. Rambo's racist. And shut up. It's a movie. It's not real.
What are they going to say about The Matrix 4?
well, they'll say that the Matrix 4 is not gender neutral and it's not gender fluid, and how dare they? That's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
People are going to take offense to the Matrix?
I'm surprised people haven't taken offense to John Wick. Like, oh, he's racist against Russians. He killed all these Russian people. Like, oh my God, really?
Exactly, but see, that's a franchise. From the first one to the third one, they've gotten right, and I look forward to 4. I just hope they don't screw it up. But that's something that, okay, every film that they've made so far, I've loved.
Oh yeah,
but that's a rarity. That's a rare thing.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Keanu will hunker down and do it right. I think they listen to him a lot, and he knows what people want to see. Like, I remember when the third one came out, the director was like, well, John Wick can't have a happy ending. No, he will. I know he will. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, I know Keanu Reeves, listen to Keanu Reeves. He knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, what else can we add to this?
I don't know. I think we hit a lot of the high points.
Definitely. I don't know how we can. We definitely hit on the big franchises that are getting sequels and reboots and everything that's coming out, pretty much. And it's nothing I look forward to. I mean, and at the end of the day, I know we kind of got away from nostalgia a little bit, but it all ties together. And
right, exactly. It all ties together because it's the people have lowered their standards so much that all they care about is the mediocrity, and then it comes out and like, oh, well, it's better than nothing. You know what? Sometimes nothing's better than something. That's how it should be.
Yeah. And that's all it takes is nostalgia winks, and then people just get their jollies off to, these reheated versions, rehashes of great movies, and they make storylines pointless, kill off characters we love. Yep. For what purpose? I don't get why does Hollywood choose to do that? Is it jealousy? What do you think it is?
I mean, I'm sure in some cases it is jealousy, but it's that shock value. Let's shock people. Just like back, in the Attitude Era with wrestling. All right, how can we make the fans go crazy? It's like that. It's that mentality. But yeah, it is pointless. So you mean to tell me that now I'm supposed to go back and watch Terminator 1 and 2 and be like, well, you know what? This none of this matters now because John Connor dies in Dark Fate, which is the real Terminator 3. So it's like, why? Why did they even make all this stuff? Like with Star Wars. So we just kill Han Solo off in a dumb way because they didn't want to do it in Return of the Jedi like Harrison Ford wanted. And then Luke is Connor McLeod out in the, the Highlands of Scotland, wherever, and then he just dies. It's like, what? So what was the point of all of these movies and stuff and all these comic books and video games? There was no point to it because they're like, oh, well, he's dead now, so yeah, cool. It's like, well, why? Why'd you do that?
And then the filmmakers turn around and they say, oh, we're just being toxic. And,
No! Like, it's...
Because...
that I don't understand either.
Because we're frustrated. Because we're frustrated and we're, as a result, toxic.
Right. Because I'm mad that you treated these beloved characters like garbage and you killed them off in a stupid way. But that makes me a bad person? Like, I don't understand that. Like the Candyman remake, they're like, oh, well, it's going to be about, toxic fandom. Like, did you not think about that before you said it? How are you going to write a movie about that? That makes no sense.
Probably something to do with like maybe keyboard warriors and stuff. You think? Maybe?
I'm sure it'll be something like that, but that doesn't make any sense to me. What does that have to do with Candyman? Did you not see the original? Like,
And define toxic fandom. I mean, yeah, I get it. There's assholes out there that really should not be on the computer, should be
yeah,
nowhere near a computer.
that's the truth. I mean, that is reality. That is exactly the truth.
That don't have guidance, that don't have people watching them, whether it be parents, what have you. And a lot of it is, it could be teenagers. And unfortunately, sometimes it could be adults. Like, it could be your neighbor who is in his 40s and has a family and has nothing better to do than to troll. And he's got something wrong upstairs, some imbalance.
Yep. And we've all experienced it, throughout our years here on YouTube. We all have, all of us. And it's just stupid, and again, I was talking to actually one of my viewers about this. I'm like, you know what? The problem is everybody has a smartphone and they have the power of the world at their fingertips, and they just feel like they can say whatever they want and have no repercussions. And, people are like, well, freedom of speech. But people don't understand what that means. I mean, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but I can also punch you in the mouth if I don't like what you say. I mean, and that's the problem. People forget that there's consequences to their actions. And a lot of people, I know this sounds messed up, but a lot of people do need to get punched in the mouth for the things that they say. Like, it's reality.
And people that just want to stir the pot for no reason.
Exactly. Because they love that attention and the drama and getting the blood flowing. And it's ridiculous. It's weird that we live in this world, and I say it probably every day, where adults act like children and children act like adults. It's so weird. Like, I just don't understand it at all.
And there's sick people out there. Like, and there are sick fans. Go back to fans.
Yeah.
Like, you got fans on, let's say, Twitter that will keep tagging this actress and keep tagging this actor about this and this director every day and on a daily basis about why, they suck or whatever. Like, I'm not that type of person, and Fabio's not that type of person. We we have our frustrations and we vent and convey our anger, but never like that. We never go that far because a lot of times we're over the top, and there's a sense of humor when it comes to our rants. But people like that, fans that, again, people that just should not have an iPhone, that should not have a computer, keyboard. They should be in a padded room, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And right, like you said, like, yeah, we yell and we scream and we curse, but it's not negative. It's not like we're personally attacking anyone. We're just venting, and it's positive. We're having fun, and we laugh and we joke, and it's not made to be serious. But there are people out there that are like that, and that's the problem. People do take things too far, but the issue is that people don't take that seriously. They think, oh, well, it's just this and it's just that. Well, you know what? That's how things happen. That's how, some of these actors have gotten stalked and things like that. And that's where the issues are, that people don't realize it early enough,
Yeah, so... But yeah, this was a great talk, and I mean, we definitely covered many areas, and I don't know, I mean, from nostalgia to unnecessary reboots and remakes.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, this was great. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I think we hit it all in this one.
But, I just want to say thank you, Fabio, for joining up, and we'll definitely have to get up again.
Of course. It's always a good time getting together.
And for folks out there, I hope you enjoyed this. And, yeah, thank you again, Fabio, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you, and take care, everybody.